Have you ever stopped to wonder if your daily bath, the one you've faithfully taken for decades, is still doing your body good now that you're past 70? What if that warm, relaxing shower you've always thought was helping you stay clean, fresh, and healthy was actually doing the opposite? I know it sounds outrageous, but after a certain age, our bodies, and especially our skin, start to change in ways that make too much bathing not just unnecessary, but downright risky. In this video, we're lifting the lid on 7 surprising truths that most people don't know about bathing in your golden years. We're talking thinner skin, hidden dangers, and how a shift in your hygiene routine could make life safer, softer, and a lot more comfortable. Plus, I'll share one simple trick that keeps seniors feeling fresh without stepping foot into a slippery tub. If you're ready to learn something that might just change your routine and your health, stick around to the end. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss more eye-opening lessons about aging smarter and living better. Let's get started. 1. Daily baths can harm senior skin. Aging is not just about silver hair or slower steps. It's also a journey of deep transformation beneath the surface of our skin. By the time we cross 70, our skin undergoes fundamental changes that most people aren't fully prepared for. What once felt supple and resilient slowly becomes thinner, drier, and more fragile. Leading research from institutions like the University of Pittsburgh and the University of California, San Francisco has shown that the skin's outer layer, the epidermis, loses density, while the deeper dermis weakens due to a natural decline in collagen and elastin. These two proteins are the very framework that keeps skin strong and firm, and without them, it becomes more vulnerable to damage. But that's only part of the story. The sebaceous glands, which once produced enough oil to protect and moisturize the skin, start to slow down. At the same time, sweat glands become less active, robbing the skin of its natural ability to regulate temperature and maintain moisture. What results is a complexion that's not only visibly dry but biologically compromised. For older adults, this vulnerability turns something as ordinary as a daily bath into a silent threat. While bathing is often seen as a symbol of cleanliness and self-care, it can quickly become a double-edged sword for seniors. Hot water, aggressive scrubbing, and perfumed soaps strip away what little protective oil remains, leaving the skin exposed and defenseless. The first signs are subtle: tightness after a bath, occasional dryness on the arms or legs. But over time, this irritation escalates. The skin begins to itch persistently, and what starts as harmless dryness can progress to xerosis, a medical condition marked by rough, scaly patches and tiny painful cracks that sting with every movement. These cracks aren't just uncomfortable, they're entry points for infection. Bacteria, fungi, and allergens can easily breach this compromised barrier, leading to issues like cellulitis or exacerbated cases of eczema and dermatitis. The impact goes far beyond physical discomfort. For someone already managing arthritis or reduced mobility, bathing daily becomes not only tiring but painful. Imagine trying to step in and out of a slippery shower while your skin burns with every brush of a towel, or trying to sleep through the night as chronic itching keeps you awake. It's not just a matter of comfort. It's about dignity and quality of life. What makes this even more concerning is how water temperature and soap formulas exacerbate the damage. Hot water dissolves the skin's lipid barrier, those fatty molecules that lock in moisture. Many soaps, especially the traditional bar kinds, are highly alkaline and can throw off the skin's pH balance, which in healthy adults rests around 4.5 to 5.5. For seniors whose skin is already working harder to stay intact, this disruption can tip the scales into a chronic cycle of damage and slow healing. This isn't to say seniors should forgo bathing altogether, but it does suggest that the daily shower, long considered a gold standard of hygiene, may no longer serve its purpose. In fact, for many older adults, reducing bathing frequency, perhaps to 2 or 3 times a week, with gentle cleansers and lukewarm water, can make a world of difference. Supplementing with spot cleaning using a soft cloth or no-rinse wipes in between full baths is often enough to maintain hygiene without compromising the skin's fragile balance. It's time we adapt our habits to our age, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom and respect for the body's changing needs. 2. Less bathing lowers infection risk. You've probably spent most of your life believing that the cleaner you are, the healthier you'll be. And for the most part, that's been true, especially when we were younger, more active, and constantly on the go. A daily bath or shower felt like a reset, a way to wash off the day and feel fresh again. But here's a little secret that many doctors and geriatric specialists are now beginning to share. After 70, bathing less can actually protect your health, especially when it comes to your skin and your body's ability to fight off infections. This might sound surprising at first, but it starts to make sense when you understand what aging does to our skin. Over time, the skin becomes thinner. The top protective layer gets more delicate, and the glands that once produced natural oils begin to slow down. What this means is that your skin becomes more fragile, less able to lock in moisture, and far more likely to tear, itch, or crack. You may have noticed it yourself. Areas that used to be smooth now feel dry or rough, or seem more sensitive to hot water or certain soaps. Here's where daily bathing can start to work against us. Every time you step into a hot shower and scrub with soap, you're stripping away not just dirt, but the very oils your skin depends on to stay strong and supple. Frequent washing erodes what's known as the lipid barrier, the thin layer of protective fats that hold skin cells together and help keep out irritants and bacteria. Without that barrier, even a simple bump against the corner of a table or the sleeve of a rough sweater can lead to a skin tear. And these tears are more than just uncomfortable. In older adults, they become openings for dangerous bacteria to enter. Germs like staph or strep can turn what seems like a minor scrape into a serious infection. According to findings reported in the New England Journal of Medicine, seniors who bathe less frequently experience fewer of these skin injuries and recover faster from the ones they do get. That's a powerful insight, one that can change the way we approach hygiene as we age. Now, bathing less doesn't mean neglecting cleanliness. In fact, spot cleaning is often more effective for seniors than full showers. Using a soft, damp cloth to gently clean under the arms, around the groin, and under the breasts can keep you fresh without stripping your skin of its natural defenses. A splash of warm water and a bit of mild, fragrance-free cleanser is often all you need. And don't forget fresh clothes. Sometimes simply changing into clean undergarments can make you feel renewed without ever needing to turn on the tap. Of course, everyone's different. If you've been out in the garden or worked up a sweat on a walk, a gentle rinse might be what you need. But for most older adults, bathing 2 to 3 times a week is plenty. And in between, those small, caring routines of wiping down and moisturizing can do more for your skin's health than any long soak ever could. So the next time someone tells you to clean up every single day, remember this. True cleanliness isn't about how often you scrub, it's about how well you care for your body. And sometimes, the most respectful, loving thing we can do for our aging skin is to give it a little rest. Less bathing doesn't mean less dignity. It means more wisdom, more protection, and more comfort as we grow older. And that's something worth embracing. If you found these insights valuable, let me know by commenting yes below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear from you. 3. Falls are a bigger threat than dirt. Most people think of the bathroom as a place of cleanliness and comfort, a safe space to wash away the day. But for those of us over 70, it's no exaggeration to say that the bathroom can turn into a minefield. What was once a simple, routine activity becomes risky business, and unfortunately, many of us don't realize how dangerous it can be until it's too late. Let me tell you a story that stays with me to this day. My old neighbor Harold was a sharp man in his late 70s, still spry, still active in his church choir. Every morning he stuck to the same ritual: shower at 7 a.m., shave, and a bit of cologne behind the ears. He said it made him feel alive. But one chilly morning in January, his shower turned into disaster. The steam made the tiles slicker than usual, and when he stepped out, his foot caught the lip of the tub. Down he went. A shattered hip, weeks in the hospital, months in rehab. But the worst part? He never fully recovered. His independence faded fast. And all because of a routine he believed was keeping him healthy. It was a harsh wake-up call for all of us in the neighborhood. The truth is, falls are one of the biggest health risks facing older adults. According to the CDC, more than 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls every year. And for those of us over 70, the risk increases significantly. Slower reflexes, weaker muscles, stiffer joints, and chronic conditions like arthritis or neuropathy make us far more vulnerable to losing our balance. And the bathroom, with its slick surfaces, awkward movements, and sudden temperature changes, is ground zero. Just imagine stepping over the tub edge, Trying to balance on one foot while the other searches for firm ground, your glasses fogging from the hot water, maybe your heart already working harder from the heat. It's not hard to see how one misstep could have lifelong consequences. For seniors living alone, a fall isn't just a scare. It can mean hours lying on the floor without help, a trip to the emergency room, or even the end of independent living. The bathroom becomes a silent threat, and daily bathing, once a symbol of cleanliness and discipline, can quickly turn into a health hazard. This is why so many geriatric specialists now recommend cutting back. Bathing once or twice a week is not only sufficient for hygiene in most cases, but it also reduces exposure to these risks dramatically. Between full baths, sponge washes, or spot cleaning, the key areas, underarms, groin, feet, and face, can keep you feeling fresh and comfortable without the danger. There are other practical solutions too. Installing grab bars, using non-slip mats, and switching to a shower chair or handheld shower head all help. But ultimately, the biggest change is in mindset. Understanding that clean enough is not the same as risking injury for a ritual that no longer fits our stage of life. Harold, after his fall, became a quiet advocate for this change. He'd tell people, "I used to think skipping a shower made me lazy. Now I know it makes me smart." He wasn't wrong. Prioritizing safety over an outdated habit isn't about letting yourself go. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you. So if you're still bathing daily out of habit, maybe it's time to ask yourself, is it worth the risk? Because at this age, every step matters. And avoiding a fall could be the difference between staying in your home and moving into a care facility. You've earned the right to take care of yourself on your terms. And sometimes that means bathing less and living more. 4. Your body cleanses itself. Did you know your skin is home to over 1.5 trillion microorganisms, most of them working around the clock to keep you healthy? That might sound surprising, even a little unsettling, but it's true. What's even more fascinating is that these microscopic companions play a bigger role in hygiene than most of us have ever been told. Especially as we age, understanding how our body naturally cares for itself can completely change the way we think about bathing. The skin isn't just a surface to scrub clean. It's a living, breathing ecosystem. It's equipped with its own self-cleaning system that has evolved over millions of years to protect us. No soap, no hot water, and no scrubbing required. At the heart of this system is something called the skin microbiome, a bustling community of helpful bacteria, fungi, and even tiny mites that all work together to keep your skin balanced, moisturized, and safe from harmful intruders. As we get older, our skin naturally becomes thinner and drier. Oil glands slow down, and the diversity of these beneficial microbes begins to decrease. So when we continue to bathe daily using hot water and harsh soaps, just like we did in our younger years, we're unintentionally wiping out the very defenses our skin relies on. That's why so many older adults experience constant dryness, itchiness, irritation, and even frequent skin infections. It's not age alone. It's often because we've been over-cleansing. These friendly microbes like Cutibacterium acnes or Staphylococcus epidermidis aren't enemies. In fact, they feed on sweat, dead skin cells, and excess oils, breaking them down into harmless substances. They also crowd out harmful bacteria and release natural antimicrobial compounds that act like the body's own antibiotics. Think of them as tiny guardians forming an invisible shield over your skin. Alongside them, your body's own oil, called sebum, coats the surface of your skin to trap moisture and prevent grime from sticking. Even dead skin cells play a helpful role. Your body naturally sheds them through a process called desquamation, removing unwanted buildup without needing a loofah or washcloth. It's a beautifully orchestrated system, and it usually works best when we simply get out of its way. But the moment we start bathing too often, especially with hot water and alkaline soaps, this balance gets disrupted. Hot water melts away the protective oils. Soaps strip the skin of both moisture and its helpful bacteria. Over time, this can lead to a domino effect: dry patches, cracks, flare-ups of eczema, and allergic reactions. All this effort to feel clean ends up damaging what the body was doing just fine on its own. For seniors who already have reduced oil production and slower skin regeneration, the impact is even more severe. That's why many dermatologists now recommend bathing only 2 or 3 times a week, especially for those over 70. In between, hygiene can still be easily maintained with gentle spot cleaning, wiping areas like the underarms, groin, feet, and face. Using mild pH balance cleansers only when truly necessary helps preserve the natural balance of your skin, keeping it soft, protected, and resilient. This idea isn't new. Long before daily showers became the cultural norm in the 20th century, people lived long, healthy lives with minimal bathing, relying on nature's built-in methods. They trusted their bodies, and maybe it's time we did too. So if you've been struggling with sensitive, irritated skin or wondering why it doesn't feel like it used to, the answer might not be in adding another product. It could be in taking a step back and letting your skin do what it's always known how to do. Less soap, more balance. Less water, more wisdom. And maybe, just maybe, a little more comfort in your own skin. If you found these insights valuable, let me know by commenting yes below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear from you. 5. Experts say once or twice a week is enough. Prepare yourself for a revelation that might go against everything you've been told about staying clean. Leading experts in geriatrics and dermatology are now recommending that seniors only need to bathe once or twice a week. That's right, not every day. And no, this isn't about letting personal care slip or tossing aside good hygiene. It's about adjusting to the natural, biological changes that come with age and understanding that what worked for your skin at 30 or 50 might be doing more harm than good after 70. This shift in thinking is rooted not in opinion, but in years of scientific observation and clinical care. Dermatologists, geriatricians, and researchers from respected institutions like Johns Hopkins University and the American Academy of Dermatology have looked closely at what happens to the skin as we age. The truth is clear. As we get older, our skin becomes thinner, drier, and far more fragile. Oil glands slow down. Collagen levels drop. The body loses its natural protective barrier. So when we continue to scrub, soak, and lather daily, it's like washing an already worn fabric until it tears. And unfortunately, those tears can lead to real damage: rashes, cracks, infections, even painful pressure sores. But this new approach goes deeper than just the surface of the skin. It's about respecting the full condition of the aging body. Experts emphasize that hygiene routines should be based on your activity level, your health, and your comfort, not outdated habits. For example, a senior who spends most days indoors reading, resting, or enjoying light activities won't generate nearly as much sweat or dirt as someone still actively gardening or playing with grandkids. Someone dealing with incontinence or skin conditions may need different care altogether, perhaps more frequent spot cleaning rather than daily full-body showers. This more personalized approach challenges a deep-rooted belief many of us grew up with, that you're only clean if you shower every day. But that rule was more a product of 20th century marketing than medical science. Remember those soap commercials promising freshness and purity? They sold us a routine that, while harmless in youth, becomes a liability later in life. The good news is that there's a smarter way to maintain hygiene, one that protects both dignity and health. A routine of bathing once or twice a week, supplemented with simple spot cleaning of key areas like the face, underarms, hands, feet, and groin using a damp cloth, is often more than enough. Add in fresh clothes, a gentle deodorant, and basic grooming like brushing teeth and combing hair, and you're more than covered. You feel fresh, you stay clean, and your skin stays intact. Even the concern about body odor, a big reason many people push themselves to shower daily, can be managed more easily than you might think. Unless you're engaging in sweaty activities or live in very warm climates, odor doesn't build up as quickly as we fear. With age, sweat glands actually become less active, meaning your body naturally produces less odor. So this isn't about cutting corners. It's about listening to your body and responding with care and wisdom. It's about adapting with grace, not just holding on to habits because they've always been there. In fact, many seniors who've made this shift report feeling better, having fewer skin issues, and even enjoying their new routines more. Sometimes doing less is exactly what your body needs. And when that less is supported by science, comfort, and common sense, it might just be the best decision you'll ever make for your health. 6. Daily baths can exhaust seniors. Bathing might seem like a simple routine, something we've done without a second thought for most of our lives. But once you reach a certain age, especially past 70, it's no longer as easy as it used to be. What once felt refreshing can now feel like a mountain to climb. Standing in the shower, bending over to scrub your feet, reaching behind your back, stepping in and out of the tub. These everyday movements can suddenly feel like a workout you never signed up for. And it's not just the time it takes, it's the drain afterward. That kind of tiredness where you feel it in your bones, like your body is telling you that it gave more than it had to give. Some days, after a bath, you may find yourself lying down, not to relax, but because your body simply can't do more. And then the whole day feels shorter. You skip your walk, you don't feel like reading. Maybe you even pass on a call from a friend because you're just worn out. No one really talks about that part of getting older. The quiet toll of small routines. The way something so ordinary becomes a trigger for joint pain, shortness of breath, or aching fatigue. And if you've got arthritis, heart issues, or just that general frailty that sneaks up with age, even holding onto a bar of soap or lifting your arm to rinse your hair can feel like a task too big. There's a sadness in that, a kind of silent grief for what used to be easy. But here's the thing. You don't have to keep pushing yourself to meet the same standard you followed when you were 40 or 50. Bathing once or twice a week is often more than enough at this stage in life. And on the in-between days, a warm washcloth, fresh clothes, and a bit of deodorant can keep you feeling clean without leaving you drained. It's not laziness. It's wisdom. It's honoring your body for all it's carried and choosing to spend your energy on the things that bring you joy. Maybe it's tending the garden, playing with the grandkids, calling an old friend, or simply sitting outside with a warm drink and a breeze on your face. So if you're someone who's been pushing through exhaustion just to keep up with an old habit, maybe it's time to let yourself off the hook. Your well-being isn't tied to how often you stand in a shower. It's in how you feel when you open your eyes each morning, rested, steady, and ready to enjoy what the day brings. If that message speaks to you, go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if this video has helped you rethink your routine, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so we can keep bringing you more life-changing insights right when you need them. If you found these insights valuable, let me know by commenting yes below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear from you. 7. Hygiene isn't just about bathing. Cleanliness is not next to godliness when it comes at the cost of comfort, safety, and your well-being. For most of our lives, we were raised to believe that taking a bath or shower every single day was not just a habit, but a duty, a sign of decency, discipline, and dignity. But the truth is, as we grow older, that old rule book may be doing more harm than good. The biggest shift we need to embrace now is this. Hygiene is not synonymous with bathing, at least not the way we've always done it. For seniors, especially those over 70, daily showers aren't just unnecessary. They can be exhausting, risky, and even harmful. That doesn't mean letting go of cleanliness or self-respect. It means redefining both in a way that aligns with how our bodies actually work at this age. Modern self-care doesn't require a slippery tub or a steaming shower. It looks like warm washcloths, soft wipes, fresh clothes, a tidy head of hair, and a gentle swipe of deodorant. These alternatives are not shortcuts. They're smarter, safer, and often more sustainable ways to stay clean. They preserve energy, protect fragile skin, and offer dignity without the physical strain. Take wet wipes, for instance. These simple little cloths can clean the parts of our body that matter most: underarms, groin, hands, and face, without the need to climb into a tub or stand in a shower. They're gentle on aging skin and don't require rinsing. Then there's the power of hand washing. Keeping your hands clean, especially after using the bathroom, handling food, or touching surfaces, is far more critical to your health than lathering your whole body daily. And don't overlook your mouth. Oral care is often forgotten when we talk about bathing. Yet brushing and rinsing daily keeps you healthy, confident, and social. Add in fresh clothes, breathable, clean fabrics swapped out regularly, and you've already done 90% of what your body truly needs to stay hygienic. This is especially important for older adults dealing with mobility challenges or chronic fatigue. Picture an 82-year-old woman with arthritis in her knees and shoulders, trying to step into a slippery tub. The risk of falling, straining, or simply wearing herself out is real. And it doesn't have to be this way. Replacing a full-body bath with simpler routines not only prevents injury, it empowers her to care for herself in a way that feels manageable and affirming. Even in colder seasons, when a wet head and chilly air can lead to shivers or worse, dry shampoo and sponge baths make better sense. The goal is no longer spotless perfection. The goal is comfort, confidence, and control. Experts across dermatology and geriatrics agree. The old notion of daily bathing is outdated. A couple of full baths a week, with targeted cleaning in between, is more than enough for most seniors, and it can dramatically reduce skin irritation, fatigue, and the risk of slipping or falling. In fact, your body already has its own tools to stay clean. Natural oils, good bacteria, and skin cells work together to shed dirt and maintain balance. When we overbathe, we interrupt this beautiful system. When we scale back, we support it. So here's the bottom line: less water, less soap, less effort. More health, more energy, more peace. Bathing less is not about letting yourself go. It's about letting yourself grow into a wiser rhythm that suits your age and honors your body. Who knew the simplest shift in your daily routine could open the door to a gentler, stronger, and safer way of living? Maybe it's time to listen to your body, not just the habits you've carried for decades, and embrace a new kind of clean, one that keeps you not just presentable, but powerful. So what do you think? Still feel like that daily bath is doing you a favor? Or have today's 7 facts given you a new way to look at cleanliness, comfort, and care after 70? The truth is, sometimes less really is more. Less scrubbing, less slipping, less exhaustion, and a whole lot more peace, safety, and skin that actually thanks you. We've peeled back some long-held myths and discovered that aging gracefully isn't about keeping old routines. It's about listening to your body, adapting with wisdom, and choosing what truly serves you now. A warm washcloth and a soft shirt can do wonders. No tub gymnastics required. If this video gave you something to think about, drop a comment below. What surprised you the most? What are you ready to try differently this week? I read every single one, and your stories truly matter here. And if you want more warm, wise, and maybe a little surprising health tips like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a thing. You've earned the right to live smarter, not harder. See you in the next one.